Opposition leader led by the Democracy for the Citizens Party leader Rigathi Gachagua and the Wiper Patriotic Front leader Kalonzo Musyoka arrived at Nyama Kima for a political meeting. The political leaders have vowed to stage a mega protest on Friday to protest the failure by Inspector General to arrest officers involved in disrupting political rallies.
Umisa akina mama, kwa nini wanaumiza watoto?
The right to assemble is an important constitutional right.
Amen.
Ati mpaka mkuu wa polisi ataamua ni lini atakutana na viongozi ambao ni viongozi ambao wako wanaheshimika na Kenya nzima. Sisi tunazungumza kwa niaba ya Wakenya wote.
And when we come, we expect none other than IG Kanja himself to be here.
Effectively, the National Police Service is no longer independent. The CS is supposed to interact with the police on policy matters only, not on operations.
Chacha House. Saa 2 ndio huyu Inspector General atujibu kwa nini polisi wanavamia kanisa zetu.
Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua ako na haki yake ya kikatiba kuongea na watu wa Kenya.
Utaajibika kwa Wakenya kwa madhambi mliofanya kule Othaya, kudhulumu wanawake na watoto kanisani.
Tatoa candidate moja wa kupambana na Kasongo. Wangapi wanasema tutoe mtu mmoja akungana na Kasongo mtu mmoja?
Na kwa hivyo wangapi wanasema tuungane na ODM ya Raila, sisi zote tupeleke mtu jamaa mapema? Wangapi wako tayari? Wangapi wanasema tuungane na kina Sifuna na kina Babu Owino?
All right, and now moving on, tens of flights were delayed or cancelled at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport after members of the Kenya Aviation Workers Union went on strike. Hundreds of passengers spent hours on the runway or had to reschedule their flight as operations at the airport came to a near halt. The workers are protesting low pay and poor working conditions.
Are still the initial stages of our strike action, because in the coming hours we will be asking Kenya Airports Authority employees to join the strike. Immediately withdrawing all employees on duty now, all KA employees, we are asking them to leave and to go home. We are equally asking employees who are expected to report duty in the evening from KQ, from KAA, from Swissport, and all other ground handling companies not to report to duty.
And on a different story, churches and political leaders have strongly condemned the violent disruption of political meetings and call on Minister of Interior to take swift actions to restore order and protect democratic rights. The condemnation follows incidents in Kitengela on Sunday where police allegedly broke up an opposition rally, sparking tension and chaos. Leaders warned that continued attack on opposition gathering threatens to undermine constitutional freedoms and could push the country towards lawlessness if not urgently addressed. They urged security agencies to exercise restraint, remain neutral and uphold the rule of law while ensuring that all political players are allowed to conduct their activities peacefully.
Is this happening? Yet we are not in the election year. What will happen in 2027 if this is the pace? So we are very concerned. Our security agencies must ensure there is no more lawlessness, particularly coming from their side, because who else has tear gas? It happened in Othaya. Nobody has been arrested to date. Are they waiting for us to forget that that happened? Yet it was a very ugly thing. We need people arrested and taken to court, and the due process of the law taking its course.
People were having a peaceful meeting. There was no cause whatsoever. There was no breach of peace whatsoever. The government has just panicked.
But we cannot continue to operate in a situation where people imagine they can manage how Kenyans think and associate using tear gas. That is not going to work.
And of course, now moving on, 2 days after chaotic scenes rocked in Kitengela during the violent disruption of an opposition rally, fresh details have emerged that one person was shot dead in the fracas and placing local police under intense scrutiny. The family of 28-year-old Vincent Ayomo identified his body at Nairobi City Mortuary as saying he was allegedly caught in the chaos while on his way home from work. Relatives have dismissed claims that he was involved in the protest, insisting he was an innocent bystander. Witness claim gunshots were fired as police attempted to disperse the crowd, triggering panic and a stampede as traders hurriedly closed their shops and residents fled for safety. Human rights groups have since called for an independent investigation into the shooting, demanding accountability from the officers involved.
Si hakuna polisi anakuja kuchukua mwili. Ndio tukaambiana kama vijana mwili ichukuliwe ipeleke kwa barabara. Tukaipeleka kwa barabara, polisi wanatupita na kuruza bila kuchukua mwili. Mwili ikachukuliwa kutoka hapo ikapelekwa Rubis hapo karibu na Bizaini. Hakuna mwili walichukua. Mwili tena kuweka kwa barabara ikakuja ikapitwa na gari juu. Ile uchungu yenye tumepata hiyo usiku hatuwezi elezea.
Rafiki ya bwanangu akaniambia bwanangu amepigwa risasi akivuka barabara kutoka kazi. Akikumuuliza akaniambia jamuona, ndiye anaenda kumuona. Kufika leo ikabidi tumtafute kwa mochari iko karibu Kitengela, hatukumpata. Ikabidi tukuje mochari tukaconfirm tukampata. Tumpata amepigwa risasi kwa jicho imetokea nyuma.
Kama wanaweza tubebea mwili wapeleke tu basi pumzike juu ashakufa. Tulijibiwa kwamba tuongoje vijana watulie ndio watabeba.
We are asking the Inspector General of Police. We are tired of your statements that every time a young man is killed, you keep on claiming that we await postmortems, and after postmortems we will arrest. We have been playing our part, including facilitating postmortems, counseling services, and all those kind of support. How comes IPOA is not dispensing justice? How comes there are many police officers that have killed young Kenyans and they are still walking scot-free, still using the same guns that they have used to kill?
And of course, that news brings us to our first commercial break here at Pepeta TV 1 PM News Bulletin. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Don't go too far. I will be back with more news in details. Stay tuned.
In a world where safety is no longer optional, one name stands out for dependable protection: Chamgard Security Company. Our comprehensive services include guard services, dog patrol units, private investigations, intruder alarm security control systems, protocol and security services, event security management, CCTV camera installation, remote controlled gate installation, electric fence installation, razor wire setup, and close protection services. Chamgard Security Company. Reliable security. Trust the experts. Call us today and let us secure what matters most.
Pepeta TV is looking for marketers to join our dynamic team. Are you confident, persuasive, and passionate about marketing? This is your chance to take initiative. Put your skills to work and be part of our team. Send your CV to pepetatv1@gmail.com. For inquiries, call 0729109092. Pepeta TV, tunakupa unachopenda.
Je, una biashara na unahitaji kufanyiwa matangazo? Biashara kama shule, duka la kielektroniki, hoteli, mashamba ya kuuza, duka la nguo, hardware, mashamba ya kuuza, hospitali na biashara zinginezo. Tupigie simu kwa nambari 0729109092.
All right, and welcome back from that short commercial break. Indeed, it was a short. Moving on, and a suspect linked to a deadly wave of illicit alcohol sweeping through Baringo, leaving a trail of broken families and deaths, pleaded guilty to the offense and was sentenced to 2 years in prison. Another suspect pleaded not guilty and was detained awaiting a decision on bail application. And Mary human rights group have since called for an independent investigation into the shooting and demanding accountability from the officers. Watch.
Nursery schools zimefungwa, wamama sisi tuna complain, our young men wamemalizwa na hii pombe, and today we are saying no to illicit brew. Tunataka wenye wameuzika waweze kukamatwa, watolewe kabisa from the society.
Tumechoka na sumu ambayo inauzwa katika mji wa Eldama Ravine na inapelekwa kwa vijiji na watu wanakunywa sumu. Sumu hii inaitwa ethanol.
Kwa kituo kwa pombe itakuwa kesho kutwa 18.
Waja kule bungeni tuweze kufanya legislation to amend bill ya hii mambo ya pombe. Mtu akishikwa kwa mambo ya pombe agona aje akupewa cash bill ama bond ya shilingi 500. Mtu ukishikwa na illicit brews ama kila aina ya miandarati ufungwa na uwekewe bond hata ya milioni 10.
And of course, that news brings us to the end of our broadcast here at Pepeta TV 1 PM News Bulletin. Thank you so much for staying tuned from the beginning of this broadcast to the end. I've been your host, Chacha Tobias. And remember, for those news in details, make sure that you visit all our social media platforms on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram, and on X at Pepeta TV. Engage with us, and surely we do not take that for granted. I'll see you until next time. I wish you a lovely afternoon. Goodbye.